welcome to episode 15 of Kingdom of Kodiak. I am Kodiak, and with me today is Lord Squire Tajima. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. And yourself, buddy?
Oh, fantastic. It's nice seeing your face. All right, so let's get this started off nice and quick with the bare necessities. First, Tajima, where does it come from?
So Tajima actually wasn't my first camp guard name. When I started about 9-10 years ago. And whenever I first showed up to OG Cloud's Edge, I was wearing a Hello Kitty beanie. And so Sir Uther, whenever he was part of this part, he didn't even let me decide my amp guard name. He's like, your amp guard name is now Kitty, and you cannot argue with me. So I was like, well, all right. And so I was Kitty for like a couple weeks. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to change it to Tajima, which Tajima has always been like my D&D character's name. I came up with that name like 6th grade. Honestly, I can't even remember where it came from. It's been so long, but I've just used that for pretty much all my gamer tags, my D&D characters. And just recently, like the past 3 years or so, I found out that Tajima means Island of Rice Paddies.
Which
so,
it suits your personality so well.
I mean, who's to argue? I love rice paddies.
That's fair. And also, we get an opportunity here to make sure everyone understands the enunciation of it. Tajima. So, T-A-H for the first sound, not ta, not T-U-H. It's ta, G, G-E-E, ma, M-A-A.
Mm-hmm.
Tajima. Sir Randall.
People have said tahini, Tajima, whatever works.
Yeah, I've heard stories. We'll hear more later. You kind of already answered it, but how long have you been playing Amcard?
Like I said, it's been about 9 to 10 years. I've taken breaks every so often. I think the longest break I took, it was about a year. I think it was like between 2013 and 14 when I took that break.
Right.
And then ever since, I've just been playing Amcard.
Yeah, it's awesome to see you every time, whether I'm traveling to your park or it's a Kingdom event. I get to see your face. It makes me happy. Good stuff. So usually the third question here is, what is your favorite award that you've received? Looking at your org, you have some interesting ones. So by all means.
So, I mean, honestly, my favorite one is probably the Jacob Maley Award. It was supposed to be the Jacob Wood Award because Wood is my maiden name. Whenever me and Beth got married, I took her name. But the story to that award is if anybody needed to like get in contact with me on like a thread or something, they would constantly post just Jacob Wood, Jacob Wood, Jacob Wood until I responded. And it would just be like 15 comments of just Jacob Wood, Jacob Wood, Jacob Wood, Jacob Wood. And I think Sir Uther also started that. It was just probably my funniest award.
I love it. I'm surprised it's not Man in a Hat, but
no,
each their own. So, all right. I know that you and Stillette have some back and forth on this, but what's your favorite battle game?
So honestly, it's pretty basic. It's probably like Capture the Flag. But let me pull it up. There was a real good battle game Beth actually came up with for my WoW reign, which people who are familiar with WoW, there's a battleground. It's Temple of Kot Mogu. I hate the game. I hate that battleground in the game, but she made this battle game for Amcard, and it's really fun. It's kind of like Capture the Flag, kind of King of the Hill. There's one orb, and there's 2 teams, and you have to control the orb. But the longer you hold the orb, the weaker the person holding it becomes. So, like, if a person is holding the orb for a minute, they can only walk. 2 minutes, they become fragile. 3 minutes, no class abilities. 4 minutes, they have to stand in place. They can only pivot. And then, let's see, 5 minutes, hits are taken as white weapons.
Oh, wow. So I think we talked to Stillhead about the same game. It would be awesome if that made it to like the main page so that we could, take advantage of that,
Well, it is on the Cloud's Edge page.
Well, okay. I guess I'll have to go take it from the Cloud's Edge page. No big deal. All right. And then while we're playing these awesome battle games, Tajima, what's the favorite class?
Probably assassin.
Okay. And what weapon set are you bringing with that?
Just flow.
Just flow. You live a very simple flow life.
I do. Or it's wizard. I love wizard.
Okay. Well, I mean it's a better option. All right. So those are the bare necessities. Let's talk about the two general questions we've had since week 1 of Kingdom of Kodiak. And it was Morgan that originally asked the question, I believe, about the toaster. For hindsight, Sir Glenolf has been offered a multitude of toasters. He's also been offered a person who claims to be the toaster, who will offer the smoke if necessary. What say you about the toaster?
I mean, yeah, let's bring the toasters.
So we're doing the multiple toasters thing again.
Yeah,
we're bringing. Okay, all right. I don't think the first event that we have in public again is going to be very good for Sir Glenolf if he didn't want a bunch of toasters. I think that's going to be the stance here. But awesome. Let's continue to bring toasters, Dragonspine. And lastly, the last general question is, of course, your thoughts on bears. And as an extension, given that's your wife, Lady Stillhat, is a bear, who is your favorite? And, go ahead. Break my heart here.
So, I mean, bears, they're okay. Not my favorite animal.
Okay.
But my favorite bear is Arthur. He's our little cub, so of course he's going to be my favorite bear.
Nimbus, correct?
Yeah.
Yep, the little one. Nimbus and my cub are also becoming like this with a couple of the other younglings from the Dragonspine Kingdom. I can't wait to see that generation on the field. That's going to be amazing. That's going to be good stuff.
That'd be great.
All right. So I broke your chat down into 3 groups. I broke it down into Tajima, where we get to learn a little bit more about you as an individual. I broke down Cloud's Edge because you've been such a force for that park. And then I broke it down to the last one, which is always the same one. It just happens to be your most popular category, which is the goofy category. The questions asked by people that want to know the silly things that are Tajima. So let's start off with you as a person.
Okay.
Lady Stillhat wanted to know who made your heraldry.
She did.
Oh, well. If there was a way for her to get props to herself, that would be the way to do it, right? So
Yeah.
The heraldry that I posted for the chat is a bird skull, correct?
Yeah.
You want to go into why that's the heraldry that you chose?
So that's with that, I love skulls. I love bird skulls. I used to have a necklace of one, but I lost it somewhere. But it also it was stuck between an owl and just the normal bird skull, raven skull, crow skull, whatever. And just because owls are my favorite, but also there's a I think it's a Goetic demon named Stolas that teaches astrology and herbology, which I'm all about space. I love space. I always wanted to go to space. And so I was like, I like that guy. And, again, with the skulls. And then the crown on it, again, going back to Stolas, he has a crown on his head. So I was like, yeah, that looks cool. Bird skull with a crown. That looks really cool. And then just the purple circle, it's just to give it a backdrop. Purple's my favorite color.
It's a good color. Strong color. Big fan. Awesome. So, Lady Stillhat again asks, what's your favorite piece of garb?
My favorite piece of garb, that's probably my new tunic, which is the profile picture and the picture you shared.
Uh-huh.
That's probably my favorite piece of garb. Or it was probably one of my first pieces of garb whenever I worked at the hospital. The director, my boss, his wife, she's all about not his wife actually, his mom was all about sewing, and me and Chad, Brillick Iron Bear, we worked together, and we went to her to commission a couple pieces, one for him, one for me. And it was like a black tunic with like purple highlights around the arms and the waist. And then it had my first symbol, which was the arsenic symbol. It's like an upside down triangle with like another triangle, but like the middle piece is missing.
Sure.
And I love
Okay.
that garb. But I was like, you know what, that's not my symbol anymore. That's not my heraldry anymore. So I need to come up with something new.
Fantastic. Awesome. So now we're going to get a little personal here. Got to dive into the persona and the person.
Okay.
Why don't you compete in arts and science?
So so I would love to compete in art and sciences. I'm all about, in high school, I was all about art. I would draw almost every single day, even out of high school. I would draw. My favorite medium was just pencil.
Mm-hmm.
I love to, or charcoal. I just love the black and white, the shading. I could never get into color. Like this up here, that was actually Beth. Color doesn't come to me.
Okay.
I was like, I can't mix colors. It's like I'm not getting the right shade of green. I'm not getting the right shade of red. So let's just stick to, just shading.
Uh-huh.
I was really fond of that. And then just after high school, I kind of died out. I haven't had the motivation, which is no excuse. I have the capability. I have the time now, especially with COVID. But I would love to. I can make swords. I can't make garb. I'm awful at sewing. But then again, I have Beth that can teach me. So again, I have no excuse.
So it sounds like we're getting a Kingdom of Kodiak exclusive here. With the time that you have off and your capabilities and whatnot, we're going to start seeing you in arts and science qualifications, right?
Possibly.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that we could, maybe reach out to a certain white belt individual who happens to know you pretty well and ask them to maybe push that a little bit. Wink, wink.
Like I said, I would love to. I loved drawing, but it kind of died out.
Yeah, that's understandable. All right. So, Sir Randall wanted to know, as an early Floating Crown Kingdom officer in Dragonspine, what are some of the things that you learned about being an officer, and what advice would you give to possible new officers? We are going to be experiencing a changeover here at the end of this reign, with Dame Annabelle Lee meeting her term limit of 2 in a row. Morgan in the middle of the middle of this reign will be leaving. Zana will have met 2 for her. So, advice, and what did you learn?
So the biggest advice I would give is never be afraid to ask for help. Especially if you're a kingdom officer and you don't know what to do, but say you have other kingdom officers, that they've been in this game for a long time. Just don't be afraid to ask, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? Hey, I have this idea I want to do. What are your thoughts? Just never be afraid to reach out. Always talk to the parks, the other park officers. So say you're Kingdom GMR, reach out to all the other GMRs, see what they're doing. Just kind of get a general plan of, what can we do to make Dragonspine even better.
Right. Awesome.
And just another big advice that that came to me after my GMR reign. People, there's always going to be some people that just don't like what you're doing. You're always going to have those people that just, no matter what you do, you can't please them.
Right.
But, you can't please everybody. You have to, whatever you're doing, you just got to stick to it.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, we're all a bunch of different kind of people, so it's going to happen that you're going to have some people that are just not going to be entertained or happy with what you're doing. But yeah, keep pushing forward. And I mean, you were an inspiration to my first run as Monarch against Balder because I watched a debate back and forth as the GMR elections were coming up. So it inspired me to want to do the same when it was Balder and I going for office. So thank you for that.
Thank Gideon too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Gideon and you both. I had him on last week, and he mentioned it too. That it was it set a precedent for disputed elections. Like we should have a discussion against each other, so you can hear some of our opinions. It's an awesome idea. So thank you for that. Hopefully, we'll see you in Kingdom Office here again soon. Repping the bird.
Planning on it.
Awesome. All right. Kenjin would like to know, what was your favorite rain theme, and what do you think makes a good rain theme?
So my favorite rain we probably did was the World of Warcraft rain, the one where Lady still came up with that battle game. It was real fun. We came up with a lot of new battle games. It was just the Temple of Kot Mogu. That was the one that stuck the most. Even and the other rains. After that, we still played that game. It was a real crowd favorite. What? Oh, sorry.
That's fine.
And we came up with a lot of cool weapon ideas. We have a lot of kids getting active just because World of Warcraft has all those legendary weapons, all those epics with different names.
Yeah,
we're really getting into it. And now, what I feel like would make a good how to plan a good rain theme is what we did. I know me and Chad did it. Talk to your player base. Get to know them, see what they would like. Because if you want to do a rain, like, well, I think this will be good, but say none of your players really know it,
right?
And there's well, we don't know this rain. What are we gonna do? And so I feel like to have a good theme is just talk to your players. I know a couple times we actually put it up to a vote to our park. So we have, a World of Warcraft rain, a League of Legends campaign, a League of Legends rain, or a Magic the Gathering rain. Which one would you guys like to see? And so there's well, we want to do World of Warcraft. It's oh, awesome. Okay. Already got everything planned out. Another big thing, it's not really a good tip for having a good rain theme, but always have a calendar.
Yeah, that's worked out really well. I'd like to point out that Sir Randall has said World of what? So when I get that computer we talked about, when we start that WoW group up, we should see if we can convince Sir Randall that it's a great idea. Might not be able to. He plays a lot of games. So
it's a World of Warcraft.
Warcraft, yeah. All right. So Kron wants to know, would you consider obtaining a Paragon, and which Paragon would that be if you were shooting for one?
Either Assassin or Wizard. Those are two of my favorite classes. I'd probably say Assassin more, just a little bit more than Wizard. I love going on as Assassin and just poison weaponing everybody. Stepping into the shadows.
I mean, it's fine, I guess.
It's not Druid.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. It doesn't have to be Druid. I have a very natural habit to try to break rank and stab people in the back anyways, but I do that with a brown sash on.
Okay.
Assassins are fine, I guess. 3 out of 10 might do again, I guess. I don't know. But sure, that's awesome. Back to Lady Stillhat. And this one's going to tie in for a while here. So we'd like to hear the story of how you became belted to Sir Randall. And please, Tajima, don't spare any expense on the details.
Yeah. So It was it first started going to mid-rain at Sir Sane's house in Cruces. And let's see. It was me, you, Annabelle Lee, Tara Wolf, and Stillhead in the house just talking.
Mm-hmm.
And Stillhead and Ruth were talking about, you know, it's like, well, how about you come join my belt line? And they were talking. I was like, man, I'd want to be in a good belt line like that. You know, have that family, that mentorship. You know, that just came with that. And so Sane was walking through, and I can't remember if it was Beth or Ruth. Just, hey Sane, would you belt Jacob? Just saying no. Why would I do that? I was like, it's fine. Don't listen to that. And then I think Ruth was like, well, how about Sir Randall? I was like, you know, I love Sir Randall. You know, it's always amazing to hear him, you know, talk his art. And she's like, well, here, I'll go ask him. I was like, please no. And now, given this was after my big rant about the Darksaber,
Yep.
which I'm sure a few people know that I'm not gonna go into.
Well, I mean, that could definitely become a bardic for Crown Calls, but
that could be. And then so she goes out and talks to Ben, and I'm just sitting inside, just dying on the inside. You know, big social anxiety. I was like, I'm gonna embarrass myself. You know, what am I gonna do? And so she comes back, and she said, well, Randall said, sure, just don't ever talk to me about the Darksaber. I was like, oh, now I actually have to follow through with this. Now I have to talk to Ben. And then so it went a little bit, and you know, I messaged Ben, and we were talking about it for a good while. You know, he was talking about my interests, I was talking to him about his, you know, just what we could do for each other, you know, kind of start building that relationship.
Yeah.
And I think the last time we talked about it was in Albuquerque. That's when we actually got to sit down and just talk about, you know, my views, his views, you know, what's my plan, what's going to be his plan, what's going on. Mm-hmm. And then after that, we messaged on Facebook even more, and then it just kind of went off from there.
It's good. It's another great person finding another great belt line. Look at that. You just got to learn to, you know, iron your tunics, and you'll be good.
Okay. I have a new tunic now. It's nice and pristine.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But yeah, no, that's awesome. It's great being part of stories like that. Your wife, Lady Stillhead, I also got to be part of her story of her belting, because I was one that kind of pulled her to Dame Annabelle Lee during the vigil. So it's nice. Also, the Darksaber story is an amazing story for...
No, it's not.
Yeah, well, it is. It really is. Especially when it comes to, like, the end of the conversation goes, and then I was belted. You know, it's a fantastic story. But so you have your night, you're squired, you're doing great things. The question then comes up of what belt are you furthest along in, and what belt are you looking to obtain? Now, I want to preface this with, we have very different opinions about this process. So, because you're very much the opinion that you have to be aspiring towards. So, enlighten the class.
So, it's a tie between sword and crown. I currently only have 3 of each. I haven't really only started to get back into Amtgard in the past few years. I would like to pursue Crown Knight first. I was told to pursue sword first, just because, you know, I'm young. I'm 25. Yeah, 25. And so I was told, chase sword first before your body dies out. I was like, well, I can pursue sword while pursuing crown, but I want all of my energy right now to go into crown.
Okay.
Just because, especially after seeing Baihu, seeing his reigns and just talking to him, talking to Sir Randall and just a lot of other crown knights, I was like, this is the belt I want to do first.
Yeah. That's it's fantastic. Are you sure you're 25? You had to hesitate a little bit there.
I can never remember my age. I'll be 26 in 9 days.
Oh, yeah. Look at summer birthdays, bud.
Yeah, high five.
Yeah, 37 in 5 days. Ooh. Okay. Anyways, so that was the belts that you were the closest to, the belt that you want to obtain. So I'm going to ask the other side of it. You didn't mention flame, you didn't mention arts and science. We kind of touched on the arts and science. And can you explain a little bit maybe why the flame belt isn't one that jumps out to you?
So, the flame belt, I feel like it would be a good thing for me to pursue because I love helping people. I love service. If I'm there, just never hesitate to ask me, hey, what can I help you with? Mm-hmm. And so it's just, I've never been interested in the flame belt. I don't know why. I feel like it's a very valid belt. I've met a lot of awesome flame knights, but it's just, like I said, I'd rather pursue crown knight first.
Well, and you are that kind of person though, to where you're doing the service without, like, that's why I feel like your stance on this is so interesting, because you do service without even thinking about it being a belt option, but then you actively promote the idea that you want to be a crown knight and that you're putting it out there. And it's like, wow, this person who, with just their natural habits, is a flame knight, but like you never mention it. It's an interesting stance for me. Like, I appreciate it because it just means you're doing service for the sake of doing service, which is also a great thing to do. And whenever you're in service, awesome things happen. So I'm really happy about that as well. Look at me giving you so many compliments. It's like we're friends or something. I don't know.
I know, it's gross.
Gross. Why are we friends? Stop it.
But
all right.
I was also going to answer your why don't I talk about Serpent Knight?
Sure.
So with Serpent Knight, it goes to the question of Stillhet and Randall calling me out on why I don't do arts and crafts. It's just, like I said, it's been a fallout for me for a while. I can't get back in that motivation, and I don't want to enter something and then just immediately get shot down. I guess it's a weird social anxiety thing with me. I guess I've never really shared my art before.
That's fair.
I still have all of my high school art over there in the corner, but it's just, like I said, that I don't know. I can't answer that one, but just give you my insight is that I'd have to really start working on it again, and I feel like it would take away from me trying to really understand the politics of this game and to get that crown knight.
Sure. Learning, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but there was a crown call last year in Yuma, and I won it because of my sewing skill.
Yeah.
Yes, my sewing skill won me that, and that's never been credited yet, and I'm really offended. But I know a knight who is willing to teach me very basic sewing techniques just so I could make more quells. So they almost play hand in hand if you treat it like I'm going to do art and I'm going to do fighting as the quells to become crown, just an interest. It's a way to think about it. Cause I have less artistic skill than my 7-year-old son. So I get the struggle of that, but I've already won a crown call.
Like I said, And like I said, I have no excuse because, like I said, Crucis is only 2 hours, hour and a half away.
Yep.
I can just hit up so many people and just like, hey, can you guys teach me this?
Mm-hmm.
And I just essentially what it comes down to, I just need to get off my butt and do it.
Well, I mean, at least you've put it out there now. It's going to be captured forever in this video that it's a motivation thing. So, I mean, hey, you could always swing by here and I can show you my crappy stuff and you can get self-esteem from that while building on your amazing stuff.
You can teach me how to make a sword.
Yeah. We're not going to talk about that today. I have a sword. It's true. Anyways, so we've talked about Tajima the person. Let's talk about one of the big factors of you being in the game, and that's your park. One of the things that you've been able to maintain is keeping Cloud's Edge alive. And so we're going to ask a serious question about it first. There's obviously some serious questions more down the road about it, but the big one. Can Cloud's Edge, or do you think Cloud's Edge will be able to maintain a barony status if at the All Thing they are promoted to barony?
I feel like Cloud's Edge would be able to, as long as the officers, every single officer was willing to put in the work and time for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it's just, that's honestly what it just comes down to, especially, the reason why Cloud's Edge has been able to stay, grow up this big is because of Lady Stillhead, her most of all, myself, and Kron. Those are the three big officers that helped Cloud's Edge kind of come back up from this. And just like I said, as long as we are willing to put in the work and time, and especially before the whole COVID thing, we actually had a few kids interested in learning park offices and just what it takes to run a park. And we were kind of getting them into it, but then everything kind of hit and we had to kind of stop doing that. So.
Right. Well, I mean, it's an opportunity and it's a call to action for your other players to step up and take the reins. It's also a good teaching experience for each one of the more veteran players. You spoke of yourself, Lady Stillhat and Kron, getting an opportunity to teach these people how to be the leaders that they need to be at the local level, and then also a learning experience for you to be able to step away from the leadership and letting other people have that, which is awesome. It'll be a good time. And I mean, obviously, Cloud's Edge has my vote for going to Barony. You guys are amazing. You host very well. You have good numbers. No, you host very well. Every time I come, I'm greeted with hearty hugs and good fights, and that's all I ever ask for. Good conversations, which I don't necessarily expect because, like, we're there to amp guard. But, yeah, you guys are great people. Really big fan. So the next question we had was from Kron. Wanted to know, you have a Cloud's Edge Phoenix Ball team. Who are the players? What classes are they playing? And he also wants to make an emphasis that you're including yourself.
Okay, so real fast, how many players are on a team in Phoenix League?
5. I don't play perfect. Phoenix League. I played it once. I played it at Sir Baihu's Knighting. I've learned some things about myself when it comes to Phoenix League that I'm probably too competitive to do that and still maintain friends. So I don't play Phoenix League anymore.
Okay, so perfect. Cause I've never played it. I've only watched it, and even then, it was kind of bits and pieces because I was off having a conversation.
Yeah.
So, given if it were to be 5, I would want me as a wizard. I would want Kron the Head Smasher to be a druid, or a bard. Probably
well, it's a druid. I mean, if the choices are the two, it's a druid.
I would want Brillic Iron Bear to be a healer. I'd want Dom to be a monk. And then I would want DeFluff to be a barbarian.
Okay. it's a good team. I noticed that you added Xander the Reaper back into your Phoenix Ball team. He's a Dragon Spine Las Cruces player now. I don't know if you're aware of that.
He is an OG Cloud's Edge member.
That's fair. Yeah, I guess we can share him. So, Stillhat wants to know what companies and households you're currently part of, and what would you like to be part of. So, this is an opportunity for you to self-promote for, I don't know if Sir Anatol's peeking in on the Wheel Talk, or, you know, I mean, Sir Randall's here. I know he's got households.
So, so the only company I am part of is the Storm Riders, which is Dom's company, and I believe that's the only company. But the households I am a part of, House Continuance, and I am part of House Tankard.
Okay, so you want to give us a little bit into the fighting company there? You were trying to claim a Las Cruces player. So, I mean, for him to be his company, you should probably give us some insight.
So, I know with the Storm Riders, they were originated by, I believe, Jaime. He's passed now, but it was originated here in Cloud's Edge, and it was here whenever I first started. And I just remember just seeing those guys and being like, these guys are dicks. They're mean. And I was like, but they were good fighters. And so I was like, maybe if I talk to one, maybe they can teach me. And that's how I met Dom and Jai and Jaime. I don't know if Sin was in Silver at the time. I don't think so. But all I remember is my first real big quest day, part of OG Cloud's Edge. It was in Pinos Altos, the day where we had the tournament. Do you remember that? You were there for the tournament.
2.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you don't remember coming to Cloud's Edge and doing the tournament here?
The one that was at the park. Oh yeah, the quals. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was curry served. Curry.
Yeah. Yeah, we went to Tyrone after at the amazing curry.
Yeah.
So anyway, with the Storm Riders, I remember. So the quest, the battle game or the quest, it was we had to go up into the mountain, and if you found a relic, if you brought it back alive, you could have it. Each one had their own special properties. But the Storm Riders, they some of them, I think Dom, Gary, I think another one, maybe. I just remember Dom and Gary. Gary's an old player. He stopped playing. They were kind of like monsters out in the woods, but the other Storm Riders, they would sit at the entrance to where you had to run to bring the relic. And so I remember sitting there behind a tree, with my 2 freshly built long swords, not knowing what to do, and watching a guy try to book it. I think he had like a dagger. And then the Storm Rider stopped him like, hey, come here. And so he went over there, and I think it was Jai. He's an old player. He showed up to Cloud's Edge again lately, but he killed him. And then he went to the Reeves like, hey, I found this relic. It's mine now. And the Reeves like, yeah, that's fair. And I would just see people come down with relics, and the Storm Riders just kill them and be like, hey, this is mine now. And so that was my first memory of the Storm Riders. It was only, I think, when Dom moved to Cruces, that's when I really became part of it. And every gathering of the Crown since, been capping with them, becoming part of them, trying to get more people, but coronavirus is making that difficult.
Yeah, for sure.
We actually have a few kids down here that want to be part of it, but we can't do any gatherings.
Mm-hmm.
So
you mentioned a whole bunch of names. You want to just run down the roster for the Storm Riders real quick?
So let's see. Dom, Sin, Fro, Jai, Ricky, myself, Stillhead, Chad, Kron, Harley, Keegan, Ricardo, and then we had three potentials, but we can't let them in yet until we kind of have them go to their first gathering of the crowns, or until we get together for like a maze or something.
Okay.
Got to get the approval from Dom.
Xander the Reaper.
Yep.
No one knows him by that, but I mean,
no, it's just whenever during chorus, like we call forth Xander the Reaper, everyone's like, "Who's that?"
Yeah, right. It's like, Dom, come here, please. Yeah. All right. So, should Cloud's Edge branch of the Storm Riders designate one day a month where they wear their company garb? And I would assume Kron's asking specifically about at Park.
I mean, we can go to Walmart too.
Yeah, or go to Walmart.
I mean, I feel like that would be a good thing. Maybe even twice a month, or even even every single day, but like between battle games. So if there's like a battle game where we're all on a team, we can all rep the same colors.
Cool.
It's coordinated. But I know we were doing that for a while, and then we were also doing company fighter practice, but that kind of died down, and then the virus happened.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, so those are the questions that pertain to Cloud's Edge. So we learned a little bit about your park, a little bit about some fighting companies and whatnot in the area. I didn't know the Storm Riders were bigger than the Order of the Ash. I thought there was 5 of you. But now that I know a little bit more, that's fine. The order's still strong for a household. We're good. All right. So we're in our last section, which is the goofy section. Okay. These are the questions that apparently just had to be asked, especially to you.
Okay.
Is a hot dog a sandwich? Yes or no?
Yeah. Yes.
Why or why not?
So I actually looked this up today. In my personal opinion, I feel like it is a sandwich, just because the definition of a sandwich is 2 slices of bread or a roll sliced in 2 with substance in the middle is a sandwich. Uh-huh. So by that definition, it might upset people that yes, a hot dog is a sandwich.
I'm gonna have to argue here for a second, sir. If a hot dog bun is doing what it's supposed to do, it never becomes 2 pieces. Mm-hmm. It's only 1.
Okay.
So that is not a sandwich by your definition. But when the hot dog bun breaks, then it is a sandwich.
Then I can argue so how about if it doesn't break, it is classified as a taco?
Yes, a hot dog is a taco then. Yes.
All right, so let's just agree to disagree.
Okay. A hot dog can be a sandwich or a taco depending on the elasticity or structure of the bun itself.
I like that. That's good.
Okay. Lady Stillhat wants to know, what She-Ra princess are you?
So real fast, if anybody hasn't seen She-Ra, I highly recommend it. It's an amazing show.
Okay.
So he's not a princess, but I like to classify Stillhat as Mermista, which have you seen She-Ra?
I have not, but I'm going to take your recommendation.
Okay, perfect. So Mermista, she's a princess. She's a very, very sassy, which Lady Stillhat. And so
no, wait a minute. Stillhat sassy?
It might be surprising, but
she might have found the right belt line.
But one of my favorites is what's his name? Seahawk.
Okay.
I like to classify Seahawk as a princess. Okay. Or for all the other people, Entrapta. Love Entrapta too.
Okay. I'm going to have to watch this. I'm going to look into it. I'm gonna do my due diligence here. I got to do research. Apparently, research is a big thing in the chat right now because we got the taco sandwich debate going on. It's fantastic. I'm here for this. I'll watch some She-Ra. I'll figure out which princess I am. It's fine. All right. Tron wants to know who would win a fight, a human Dom or a Centaur Dom?
Centaur Dom.
Yeah, that seems just obvious at this point.
Yeah.
Human Dom would probably be able to grab a patch of fur off of Centaur Dom's butt as it was running away. But, I mean, Centaur Dom has 2 extra limbs for striking.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And it's literal horsepower. So, I can't argue with it. All right. Morgan wants to know, can you, with as much detail as possible, tell me if he was able to eat himself, would he become double his size or disappear entirely?
So I feel like he would disappear entirely, and that is because I feel I was actually giving this thought today.
Oh.
So some of these questions I had to sit there and think, but so given the fact, say if he is eating himself, his head is able to stay alive, after he ate the entirety of his body,
Mm-hmm.
which, essentially after you get past like your stomach, it would just fall through. So essentially you wouldn't disappear entirely, but if your head is able to stay alive, you would have to have somebody, help you feed yourself. So essentially either you're just going to be a pile of mush or you'll create a black hole.
I think in the scenario where you're capable of eating yourself, the expectation is that you're going to consume your own head at some point. But
So maybe the black hole theory or implosion, whatever.
Right. I guess it depends on if Morgan cooked a meal previous to desiring to eat himself, because maybe he's full from all the food he cooked, and then he doesn't eat as much of himself as quickly.
But he'd still be eating himself regardless.
Yeah.
So it would just be slow.
Well, right, but if you chew your fingernails and you only do it once a week, your fingernails grow back. So if given enough time, his skin could grow back and he could, nothing would ever change, but everything would change at the same time. This is deep. This is the deepest question ever right here. Sir Randall, what is happening? We don't know. Welcome to Kingdom of Kodiak. Next. All right. Kron wants to know, Jake the dog singing Making Bacon Pancakes or Kron Head Smasher doing the applesauce song and dance. Which one wins?
Jake the dog.
It's a pretty good song. Plus Bacon Pancakes, man.
I love Kron's little applesauce dance. He'll have to perform it. I can't do it justice, but I gotta say Jake the dog.
That's fair. Without seeing the applesauce dance and knowing that there's bacon inside of a pancake, I would have to side with you. The next question, I feel like the person that wrote this is only trying to hurt me.
Okay.
Why do you roll for an inside on a small straight on Yahtzee?
So the only reason I do that is solely to hear Kodiak's blood pressure rise.
Yes, you do. You never roll inside. So Randall, you're here. There's a standard to be maintained. We never roll inside. You're a monster for doing it, and I can only explain so many times how it doesn't work.
But it can pay off. Sometimes it does.
Yes, a blind squirrel and finding their food for the winter and mathematics, and there's a 1 in 6 chance. Yeah, sure, it can happen. There's a mathematic possibility that, like, we're all brains inside of a vat. I can feel myself right now. That's probably not the case. I'm so angry. No, you don't do it. Anyways, we're moving on. Kron wants to know, were you born an edgelord?
Probably.
Probably. I mean, that just seems like the right answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I given our relationship, I would say that you stepped out definitely being an edgelord. That's 100. That's 100 on that. That's just a fact.
100%.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So the big question, because it's going to matter eventually, we're going to play Magic against each other at some point. Golgari or Rakdos?
Golgari.
Golgari. Golgari's got green in it. I don't.
What's wrong with green?
I mean, if you like playing assassin, I guess you like green, but
no. See, green. I feel like it would be a barbarian's color because green
That's
is
fine.
all about. Green is all about mana ramp, producing big creatures.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm the guy that wants to play a mill deck with every card game I play, so I shouldn't talk about what's cringe, but
yeah, so you're that guy.
Yeah, I'm that guy. What do you mean we're here to play and have fun? I'm here to win. So Devrick, you've met Devrick. You know Devrick. He's interested in knowing if you deserve the Sonic.
I do.
You do. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the Kingdom of Kodiak viewing audience, he does deserve the Sonic. Give this man some Sonic.
Specifically, the original iced coffee from Sonic.
Original iced coffee. So if you run into Tajima, make sure you hit him up. There was a follow-up question to that, though, and it seems to be contradictory to what we've been hearing over the last few weeks about the Sonic when it comes to Tajima. If you are deserving, why then are you turning it down when it's offered?
So the thing that started the whole, because Tajima deserves Sonic, is Beth was coming home from work and she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna stop by Sonic. Do you want anything?" And I just ate with Arthur, so I said, "No, thank you. I'm good." But see, she didn't tell me she was also getting ice cream. And so she came home, and I was like, "Well, where's my ice cream?" It's like, "Well, you said you didn't want anything." It's like, "But you didn't tell me you were getting ice cream."
Oh, so this is not necessarily a Sonic thing. This is an ice cream thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because if she would have went somewhere else for the ice cream, this conversation could still be happening.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I think we've been falsely led down a path here of lies centered around a Sonic conspiracy when this is really an ice cream situation. And I feel the people would back you more strongly if they were given the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
If they did their research. This is an ice cream matter, not a Sonic matter. Yes.
No one delved into the stories of what actually happened.
Right. Guys, we've learned so many things today. Taco, sandwich, hot dog, bread, figure it out. This is not a Sonic issue. This is an ice cream issue. But you are getting some flack in the audience. It looks like you're being called out for making a bad move on your part. You gotta know that if people are going out, you gotta throw them going to Sonic. I want ice cream. What? Huh? You gotta know. You gotta know.
See that is fair. I could have been like, well, if you're going to Sonic, I'll take an ice cream. But I was not offered. She did not tell me she was going to Sonic strictly for ice cream.
Well, listen. Point of fact, you want anything, I think ice cream's in there somewhere. But now that we know this is not a Sonic debate, we can move on. We can move forward with life here.
It's still a Sonic debate.
Okay. All right. Morgan wants to know, if you could meet anyone in history, who would it be and why? He also throws his 2 cents in. Why would it be Freddie Mercury? So, if it's not Freddie Mercury, answer that afterwards.
Well, I mean, obviously it's going to be Freddie Mercury.
Okay, fantastic. here we are.
Have you seen Freddie Mercury?
I mean, yeah. I have opinions about Queen that usually get me in a lot of trouble. I think Freddie Mercury did a lot of amazing things, and I think his talent was amazing. I think Queen is a band, a little overrated, but that's my opinion. I'm sure that will get me shots fired, but I have an opinion.
No, to serious though with that one is I couldn't think of anybody who I'd actually want to meet from history.
Okay.
So sorry,
you have. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I was just gonna say, so sorry to disappoint everyone, but we'll just go with Morgan and it'll be Freddie Mercury.
Okay, fantastic. And then the last question, the big question, the big one. This is gonna hurt some feelings, I think. Okay. You're gonna take a cross country trip across the kingdom, and you got to choose between going with Dom, Kodiak, Morgan, or Sir Randall. And apparently, because Stillhet is kind of a monster, you cannot go with all of us.
Well, see, no, did she just add that?
No. But the question says it defines it as a single entity each. Okay. It doesn't give us the option of I would travel with all of them. So let's not be cowards about it. Let's go after it. And it's a tough one.
That is a very tough one. I see the benefits of traveling with each of you individually. I don't know if I can answer that.
Wow. Okay. So I can safely say that traveling with Dom across the kingdom, because I've done this, is fun as long as you're not Deverick and as long as Dom does not have burritos. Because if Dom has burritos and your name is Deverick, you are going to be attacked with those burritos. And, I've never traveled across kingdom with Sir Randall. I've never traveled across kingdom with Morgan. I'm a barrel of fun. So, and you're getting called out for being a coward here. Your knight and your wife have teamed up and decided that you are a coward for not picking someone.
That's not fair though, because Ben is Beth's mom. It's not fair. They can't team up on me.
Well, they're doing it. I'm literally watching it happen currently. You're being asked here. This is why people come to Kingdom of Kodiak. We want the hard answers. Our hot dog sandwiches, sometimes they're tacos, people. You never roll inside on a straight. And then Tajima would travel with?
Probably Randall.
Probably Randall. Sure. Oh, he's my knight, and I want to suck up a little bit. That's cool. No, that's cool. That's cool.
No. See, this is why I want to travel with you. Because I'd say one thing, and it's poor Kodiak.
Well, I feel like you made your decisions to eliminate me from it based on my opinion of Queen. I got torn down in the chat for doing that as well. No. I'm sorry, guys. I think Queen's overrated. That's my, whatever.
Well, no, my opinion didn't change on you because of Queen. Like I said, I would love to travel with each of you individually, but I feel like Randall would be a little bit more fun. More stories to be had.
Damon, I believe if you could step in here and tell him that I am a barrel of fun. Anyways, that doesn't matter. I would love to get that group together in a car, though, to take a trip. There's some shenanigans to be had there.
It would be interesting.
It would be interesting. Well, I know, like, Dom is more than willing to drive the majority of the way. I'm willing to drive. So, like, the idea of just being able to have these really in-depth conversations without having to change drivers all the time, it would be super fun. Uh, this was supposed to be about you, Tajima, but I keep peeking over and seeing the flack I'm getting for my decisions on Queen. Well, here we are. I probably should have just kept that to myself. But Tajima, that is all the questions I had for you today, man. Thank you so much for coming on. I know that we talk pretty regularly, so I know a lot of these things you're saying, but it's so good to hear some more about you and get the people of our kingdom to know a little bit more about you as well. So again, thank you for coming on.
Of course, no problem.
Yeah. For anyone who's watching that has anything to do with our kingdom, there will be an all thing that votes will be collected, and the end date is not this weekend, but the following weekend. It has the promotion of Cloud's Edge on it, along with the AIBOD funds and the backing of the Black Lives Matter movement. I put up a video for that. If you are interested, please watch that. Wow. So Randall, just so you're aware, it's that might be the reason right there. I think Wayne's World did it better. There, I said it. Yeah, this is the comment's already been made, Kingdom of Kodiak viewers. This is why I'm not a Squire, despite my fact that I have not taken a belt.
I gotta see this.
Yeah, please take a look. No one's ever gonna want to give me. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. Here we go. Okay. So, yeah. Tajima, again, thank you so much for coming on. Viewers, Kingdom of Kodiak, next week is our nightly chat. We will be having Sir Francis on next week to discuss whatever topic comes up from anyone in the audience. After that, I do have a couple people that wanted to do the challenge month that we're interested in doing a couple weeks, which would be Edelsbeth and Xander the Reaper. So we may extend challenge month for 2 more weeks and then start another themed month. Be on the lookout for that. Until then, I've been Kodiak. This is Kingdom of Kodiak. Have a great night.